evening, boys and girls, and welcome to Tuesday Night Live here at Reach on Air.
Chris Reardon, Tuesday night, Reach on Air.
My God, we had some sunshine here today. I don't know what it's been like where you are. It's been a really nice day. After my little show this morning, my little music and chat show, that you can join us every morning between 9 and 10 o'clock. I can only do an hour, love. That's all I'm able to give. An hour of my life I give to you every day, boys and girls, with a bit of music and chat. That's here at Reach on Air between 9 and 10 o'clock. And I did that. Then I jumped on my scooter and I whizzed up to the swimming pool. Where I met my mate who hasn't been swimming for weeks. So it was nice to have him in there. And then from there, I went to the dentist. And I had a very unusual, actually, in that dentist. I had an 11:45 appointment. And I was there, as always, 10 minutes before my appointment. I'm never late for appointments. And I sat there till about 12. I think it was about 12:05 before I was called in. Anyway, so I was called in. And I went into like a different surgery, like a different room to the one I usually go in. And this one had a window. A window. So I said to the dentist, her name's Anita, lovely lady. I said, oh my Lord, you've been upgraded to a window room. She says, yeah, it's only temporary, unfortunately, because they're doing a lot of works in there. And I think they've bought the another premises next door to where they are. I think they're going to expand there. And it's Bracknell is one of the very few places where you can actually get an NHS dentist. And I've been there a few years now. I'm very happy with the treatment there. I've only ever had one filling in about 10 years. They always compliment me on my teeth because I was taught... there you are, Vera. Hello, Vera. I'm sorry I didn't ring you back, darling. I don't know how much you heard of that. My phone was... I scooted up there, and when I'm on the scooter now, I don't bother with the headset because you can't hear me. When I'm travelling at high velocity... of approximately 15 miles an hour when I'm travelling at high velocity and I haven't got a hat on, you can't hear me. The funny thing is, Vera, I think if I had a hat on, say it was winter, the hat kind of over the microphone of the earphones muffles the wind a little bit, which is great. Oh, by the way, I meant to start off with this. Can I just make a very big thank you indeed for someone sending me a super chat even before the show started today. So Gary Ross, that's very, very kind of you. Gary Ross has sent me a nice super chat. And I don't get many super chats, as you know. Most of them come from Gary Ross. And most of my... TikTok gifts come from Vera, although we had a few more little gifts this morning, people sending roses and things like that. So thanks very much, Gary. That's really nice of you. I'm a little bit concerned now that with that £10 I may fall short of your expectations this morning. Those of you listening on Reach on Air, just to let you know, I do all this on YouTube and TikTok all at the same time. So that's happening at the moment. If you want to join us on YouTube, it's youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK, or TikTok. Again, my TikTok username is Chris Reardon UK. And that's sometimes people send me little bits and pieces. We're not talking thousands of pounds. Not like some of those on YouTube. 10 grand a month. No names mentioned here. I know. There's a little program you can get, a little internet site, and you can type in various people's YouTubes and find out how much they get. So if you want a little laugh tonight, type in mine, and you can wet your knickers while you laugh how much I get. About 60 quid a year. That's not bad, is it? Getting paid £5 a month for doing my hobby. Mind you, that pays for my Reach on Air subscription, doesn't it? £4.95 a month. That's all it is. It's not bad for a hobby, is it? You imagine these people that go fishing and computer games. There's one. My God, that costs an arm and a leg, doesn't it? Oh, talking of computer games, hang on, I want to write something down there because I was shocked. I was shocked to hear something from... I better not say who it was, actually, because someone might put two and two together. From someone the other day about computer games. Really shocked. Anyway, I'll come to that in a moment. Yes, back to the dentist. So she's got the room with a window in it. Wow, just temporarily before they all move next door. Anyway, so I went in her about 12 o'clock. I'm not joking. Out came that rusty old now. She asked me a few questions. Any new medical conditions? No. Are you still on the same drugs? Yes. Any problems? No. Then she gets the rusty nail out and starts poking around that she touch. Yeah, that all looks fine. I'm just going to do your gums now. And that bit sometimes hurts. She kind of pokes my gums for some reason. And then I was out of there. Well, I can't have been in there for 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Thank you very much. £25, please. £25 for 4 minutes work? I'm in the wrong bleating job here. £25 for 4 minutes work. But she's very nice, and her assistant, I think she's probably from Philippines or somewhere like that. So nice, such nice people in there. They really are nice people. So, oh, hang on a minute. So that was that. Then I jumped back on my scooter and I came back home, and I had the slow cooker on last night, and I did something called campfire stew, which is a lot of chili and stuff in like that. And my mate came over as well. He don't like any of that sort of stuff. I did offer to do chips for him in the hot air fryer, but he wanted to go to the fish and chip shop, so he brought round fish and chips. So we had fish and chips, and then we put my Netflix on. Well, I don't know if I've ever told you, it's not actually my Netflix. Okay, I share the password with someone, or someone shares their which, don't start shouting it's illegal, because it's not. Okay, they were always very happy with this until a few months ago, and now it's hit us. Can't watch his Netflix anymore. Yeah, have to open my own account. Don't think that's going to happen. Well, it might actually, because I don't like paying for telly. I'm sorry. Hello, Dave. Dave at OIP's back there all the time. You must be bored to tears, Dave, sitting there at home watching this crap. What's wrong with you? Haven't you got a pipe to fix somewhere or something? Dave at OIP does caravan maintenance. So I don't know. I just don't like paying for subscription telly. I cancelled my Amazon Prime this year. That was back in January. I cancelled it. I did £75 a year, right? Passed, and I thought, well, I'll just start going back down the shops again. Because what I noticed was I was buying stuff on Amazon, and then I was going into like Homebase or somewhere like that and discovering that the stuff was cheaper in the shops. So I cancelled it. Plus, I never watched Amazon Prime. Never watched Amazon Prime. So that was a waste of money. And I haven't missed it at all. But then I did order a couple of things on Amazon. And if you look carefully, often the delivery is free anyway. You know, you got a next day delivery, £4.99. Get by Tuesday, £1.50. Get by Friday, free delivery. So I always look to see if there's a free delivery. And more often than not, there has been. I don't think I've paid. I may have paid for 2 deliveries this year. That's it. Maybe. No, certainly no more than that. Right? So you get the free delivery anyway. Well, what's the point of the Amazon Prime then? Because you can get it the next day. I don't understand all this immediate delivery that's required all the time. Okay, now and again, maybe you're doing a little bit of a DIY job or something like that. You know, you can't find this particular colour paint or blooming little ring to go around your central heating pipes. I don't know what these things are. Yeah, maybe you want that the next day. You can't find it. And then, yeah, that is a good thing, I admit. Yeah, you know. But generally, for the general public, I mean, people are so bloody desperate to get it. Oh, I must have it in an hour. Why? What have you ordered? A pair of shoes. Well, why do you need those in an hour? Oh, well, I'm going out on Friday. What day is it today? Tuesday. It's crazy. Thank you thank you, Bradley. Oh, blimey, is that your brother or something, Dave? I recognise the surname there, mate. Recognise the surname. So I just don't get it. I don't get all this rush type thing. Anyway, so that's the Amazon Prime, which I cancelled. Haven't missed it. Haven't really paid for anything to be delivered, although I haven't really ordered much anyway. Then I discover only last week a news art item that Amazon are now going to start charging certain items to be delivered for people who have already got Prime. Well, what's the point in having it then? And I'll tell you what, I have looked at the Amazon Prime video stuff. There is an Amazon free. Did you know that? So I've downloaded the Amazon app. Okay, right? Obviously, you might not, if you haven't got Prime, doesn't matter. There's a load of free stuff on there anyway. I quite like war films. I like older war films and all that. Oh, thank you, Bradley. Watching with Dave, Gainsborough Football Club, are you? Right, okay. Yeah, there's stuff on there. I quite like old war movies. There's plenty of those on there. So that's Amazon free thing. There's films on YouTube, right? Whole films on there. Okay, there's occasionally adverts. Adverts on bleeding YouTube are just annoying, aren't they? You know, you're always looking to click that skip advert thing. And the other day I watched this film called 1983, which is a bit old, and it's about Russia firing nuclear missiles over to America and what happened. It is frightening to see what happens there, I tell you. But if you see a nuclear missile, right, it's coming towards you and it lands on you, right, you will be scared for the moment as it's flying towards you. As soon as it touches ground and explosions, you have disappeared. You are nothing. Not even a pile of dust on the floor. You are nothing. Gone. It is really scary, nuclear bombs, I tell you. But I think the fact that so many people have got them stops them firing them at each other. So I don't really want to get into that. Do I think we should have nuclear bombs? No, I don't. However, if one's got them, then absolutely, then the other one has to happen as well. So, you know. Anyway, that's the Amazon stuff. Netflix, I'll try and do without it, I think. You see, I come from an era when all television was free. As many of you know on there. Anyone who's sort of over 50 will remember television being free. As in everything. Sport, films, comedies, everything was free. Now, you want that? Oh, you got to pay them for that. You got to pay them for that. I don't think so, mate. No. Keep your rotten programmes. Especially the Disney Channel, which has become totally woke. Dear me. What's all that with Snow White? We can't even have the dwarfs anymore. We've got to have magical creatures. Pfft, do me a favour. It's not Snow White then, is it? Won't be watching that one. Anyway, there we are. So that was my day. So my mate, so we couldn't watch the Netflix. What did we watch in the end? Something on the BBC iPlayer. I think we watched something on there maybe. And he ate his fish and chips, and I had my chili thing, and then he went home. And I had to jump on my scooter and get a prescription. So I got back home. Oh, my God. I can't tell you. I went into the kitchen, locked the door, and as I entered the living room, this stench of fish hit me. Oh, my God. It stinks. And even now, there's a slight odour of fish in the blooming living room. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I can't get rid of it. It's like chili fish. I don't know if it smelled extra bad or something like that. It really did stink in my living room earlier. So I had a little sleep this afternoon. I always have a little sleep in the afternoon. And I left the windows open, but I've got these grated shutters so I can pull them about. Not that anyone could ever get over in the garden anyway. There's so many bushes around it now. And it's kind of going out. But what a horrible smell. You know, it's worse than my nephew's feet. Or my sister's feet. My sister and my nephew have got really bad feet. Horrible. Anyone else got dirty feet? Some people are into that, aren't they? Feet. Odd people, dear. You know, toe licking and all that. Wasn't that Royal into that? What's her name? Sarah Ferguson. Didn't she lick Andrew's feet? Oh, God. I wonder if you do they put the tongue between people's toes? Oh, nah. Nah, not for me, mate. Not for me. Incidentally, I've got a lovely new jacket on tonight. Last week, the reason why I wasn't with you Tuesday last week, I was up at the Luxury Waterside Media Centre, where Dave at OAP has worked, otherwise known as the Rusty Old Caravan. And on the Tuesday afternoon, I took my sister out for her birthday because it was her birthday. Oh, no, it was Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? We went out Wednesday afternoon. Can't remember what it was Tuesday. Did something Tuesday. Anyway, Wednesday afternoon, we went to Springfields, which is an outlet centre. It's not a designer outlet centre, not like the one at Oxford Bicester. It's not really like that. This is more your normal shop outlet. Places like Marks and Spencer, right? There's a lovely garden centre there. Oddly enough, Frankie and Benny's seems to have closed down there, which was disappointing. But anyway, so we went there and I took her to Marks and Spencer's, and great niece Evie was with us as well. And she's really good. She was really behaved herself. And she went into the sweet shop and bought Nanny some sweets. Where's my sweets? You haven't got any. Well, why have you bought Nanny sweets and not me? Because I can. She never bought me nothing. She bought little, she's a proper little girl, likes bath bombs and smelling things and fashion stuff and all that. She's a proper little girl, she is. None of that old crap, gender identity crap. There's none of that going on up there, I'm telling you that now, mate. None of that. I'm thinking about identifying as a boy this week. Or maybe I can be bilinear. Or what can I be this? Well, a load of old crap that is, isn't it, eh? Nope, she's a little girl and she knows she's a little girl. And while we were in Marks and Spencer's, I thought, I'll have a little browse as well. And this jumped out at me. I generally don't really know what I'm going to look if I want to buy something. Well, I do. I know if I want something like a pair of tracksuit bottoms in, pick up tracksuit bottoms out, all in the space of like 30 seconds paid for and out the door. I can't be standing in there, unlike my sister, who will go practically on every little rail and cupboard, opening cupboards. Oh, let's look at those. And she's touching, picks it up, puts it back, picks it. Oh, no, I'm in and out, mate. I'm in and out. But it's her birthday, so she's looking around at her stuff. I thought, well, I'll have a look over at the men's. And this jacket literally jumped out at me. Lovely blue jacket from Marks and Spencer's. How much was it? Remember, it's an outlet. 69 quid. Happy days. And I think I'm going to wear this to my younger nephew's wedding next. I nearly said funeral then. I hope not. My younger nephew's wedding next year, because he's getting married in September. Next year, that is, next year. We're all very much looking forward to that. All right. Okay, let's say hello to some of you. If you'd like to join in tonight, we'd love to hear from you. You can send us a message on the Reach On Air message system, which, as always, is by far the best way to contact the show, boys and girls. You can send us a message on TikTok. You can send us a message on my text number, which I'll give you in a second. Go and grab a pen. I'll give you the text number. Or you can send us a message on YouTube. The YouTube messages, there's a lot of people talking to each other on there, so be warned. Sometimes they get missed because I'm trying to, while I'm sitting here live, imagine I'm sitting here live, I've got to talk, right? And look at messages and pick out those ones. So they often get missed. Not so bad on TikTok. Well, it's getting a bit like that in the morning, to be honest. It's getting a little bit hard again. But there we are, one of those things. So Mark Bowles is there. Good evening, Mark Bowles. Thank you for your wonderful comment. I love the way he opens his comments to me. Hello, something face. How's it swinging? More importantly, how's yours swinging, Mark Bowles? Hello, nice to see you. Hello to Peter Lake. Evening to Peter. He's in Lincolnshire. I watched Steptoe and Son on YouTube comedy. You see, there's loads of stuff that's free. I really object. I know it's a bit old-fashioned, really, isn't it? Really, in a way. But I really object to having to pay for television. It's crazy, really, isn't it? I absolutely object paying for television for some reason. So that's that. Thank you very much. Let's have a look there. Where are we going now? Let's go over on here. I'll start at the bottom there. Then I can see the messages directed to me. It's High Grade Gaming on Saturday. Is that right? On 25th is Friday. Do you mean the 26th? Which one do you mean? 25 or 26 there? I don't know. Well, happy birthday for them. If you're around Friday morning, let me know when I'm doing the radio show and we all get to sing for you. All right? Gary Ross said hello to Jason there. Evening to Mick Davenport. He loves the jacket. Yeah, sky blue. It's beautiful, isn't it? 69 quid. You know, I've got some jackets and they're fairly old now, but I've paid 200, 250 quid for some of those. Some of those that you've seen over the show. On the weeks. I tell you what, I will go to the top. TikTokers, I'll come to you in a moment, my darlings, all right? Dan Woodhouse is in the house. Good evening, Dan. Evening to you. Hello to Mandy Davenport. John Parrish, Kevin Woodruff. Evening, Kevin. Hello to you, sir. Peter Remington. Long time no see. Hello to you, Peter. Welcome along to the show there. Scrolling quickly here. This is where it gets confusing a little bit. Adam the plumber's there. Evening, Adam. He's just celebrated his 1 year wedding anniversary. Hello, Adam. Who says, evening, Chris. I like Amazon for next day business because I often need things in a hurry when we've run out of something. Like, for example, I'm going to the zoo this weekend with my nephew and we needed a car seat. I thought you were going to say, I thought you were going to say, we're going to the zoo. We need some animals. Adam the plumber in the end, and happy anniversary to you, sir. Hello to Dan C. Evening to Dan C. Evening to you, Darren Askew. He's on Facebook there. Evening, Darren Askew. Hello to you. And Adam says, I believe from the 18th of September, Amazon Prime will be delivering the same day. Do you know, I've had that once. I didn't order it. It just happened. I literally ordered something and it happened. Evening to Tim Partington. Evening to you, who says if you scour the App Store, there's quite a few more apps that give you movies, both new and classic. Thank you, Tim. Another one I've got is Plex, Plex. I've got that one as well, and you get some stuff on there as well. I don't really watch a lot of telly, to be honest. I mean, I used to have the news on all the time, not so much now, you know. Hello to... Tim says you also get Amazon Freeview, which is now the home of Neighbours. Has that started yet? I know it was going to start. I'm not quite sure if it started yet. Carmel Ridgely says I'm looking very smart. Thank you, Carmel. I try my best for this worldwide famous television programme with billions of viewers all over the world. There's Dancy, as mentioned a moment ago. High Grade Gaming likes cheesy feet. Oh, God blimey. He's another one. Yeah, another one. You don't buy women's underwear online as well, do you? People do that. People go around nicking women's underwear from washing lines, don't they? Wasn't there a film about that? Or was it? It might have been That's Live. Do you remember That's Live with the great Esther Ranson and the teeth? Do you remember her? Hello and welcome to Esther Ranson. I'm Esther Ranson. Welcome to That's Live. Hello to Battersea Bob. Battersea Bob is in the Thames television area. Evening to Battersea Bob. How's your bits? They're all right. Do you like a Cockney knees up? Oh, what, like Lambeth Walk and all that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Any evening, any day. Yeah, that one. Bradley, shout out to Dopey Zach. Dopey Zach is in the house. I'm not quite sure who that is. Oh, thank you. There's my sister. She's there now. You went to Cleethorpes on Tuesday. That's right. I went to see my friend Danny that I hadn't seen for about a year. And if you go to Cleethorpes, highly recommend. There's a restaurant on the pier. I think it's called Papa's or something like that. And it's like an old theatre on the pier. But I don't know if that's all there is on there, actually. I've got a feeling that's the only thing that's on that pier now at Cleethorpes. So you go on the pier, go into this restaurant. You can have takeaway or you can have a sit down. And if you have a sit down, it's the theatre. And there's a big stage in front, you know, with the curtains closed, obviously. There's nothing going on there. And just tables and chairs, and it's lovely. And I have a baked halloumi, and they put honey on it with chips. It's really nice. The only thing is they seem to have done away with the waiter service. I mean, waiters and waitresses who are all very young people, which is great. I like to see that. You know, they're all working hard for their little pittance. They bring the food to you, but you now have to order it at the bar for some reason. I don't know why they changed that, but it's one of those things, isn't it? Let me just scroll there. Shop with me, Chris. I'll take you out for bargains. I know you will. Hello to Richard Cooks. I'll put you on air light on. Is it not on? I'm not bothered with that. Do you really want that on? How can you notice something like that, Richard, honestly? Is it doing your head in? Hang on a minute, there we are. Oh, dear me. Honestly, the things people watch and notice on YouTube and TikTok is something else. It really is. Often you do all this content, and then say, you used to do my head in the morning. Someone would say, "Ow, Oh, your collar's slightly out of place. I used to just block them. Got on my nerves, these people. Thank you very much. Tim's had Plex on and off as well there, you see. Look, Tim's had it as well. September the 18th is the start date for Neighbours on Amazon Freevee. Classic episodes already on Freevee, including the first ever episode. Wow, that would have been with Helen Daniels. She was my favourite character. She died some years ago, didn't she? There we are. Hello to Chelsea Howe. Hello, Chelsea. Hi, Chelsea. High-grade gaming really does like cheesy feet. I've heard many stories. Send them over. Send them over, Chelsea. We like to know people's perversions on this programme. Might not necessarily read them out. I'd like to know what some of Mark Bowles is, to be honest. Hello to Lisa Crawford. Hello, Lisa. Long time no see. We would love to see you when you're next here. Maybe we can sort something out with the full family. Thank you, Lisa. When am I back in the caravan? Sheila, Chris, last week in August or first week in September, probably. I'm just guessing that. I haven't got it written down on my calendar. I have to write everything on a calendar. Very busy person. Very busy, all right? Did I say hello to Roy Stone? I think I did there. Thank you, Roy. Couple of texts in. Dan the Drag Queen. Hello, Dan. Dan C here, listening live. Hello to you. He's bought his first house. Is that right? Where is that then? Where's your first house? What did you pay? Where is it? And how many rooms? Interesting to know that, all right? Okay, TikTokers, here I come. Sorry, it's taken a little while to get around all these messages today. DJ Spark is there. Evening to DJ Sparky. There's Vera from Vera's Choice in the morning. Well, I didn't get to ring back earlier. Sorry about that, Vera. As I say, I had my phone in my back when I'm scootering up to the swimming pool or gym. What would I do today? Swimming pool today, gym tomorrow. If I scooter up there, it's pointless trying to talk to anyone because you can't hear me. So I don't have that on anymore. And then from there, I went straight to the dentist again on the scooter. So that's why you didn't get a call back. Sorry about that, darling. Mark J's in the house. Good evening to Mark J. He's in the HTV television area. Evening, Mark. Welcome along to the show there. Hello to you, my friend. We said hello to Dave from OIB. Mark says, our dentist will be charging for treatment now. £35 for checkup. Wow. £100 for a fill-in, etc. Rip-off. Well, I mean, what was my checkup? My checkup was £25, NHS. Well, they must have been charging before, weren't they, Mark? What do you mean they're charging now? What, was it free before then or something? Anyway, it's £25. I've got a receipt here somewhere. Hang on a minute. I think I've put it in the bin. Where's another one? Oh, I don't know. I'm sure it was just over £25 that I paid to have my checkup there. I did have a filling done earlier in the year, and it's the first filling that I've had done for about 12 years, I would say, and that was 150 quid, but it was 150 quid because I had a white one. If I'd have had a metal one, it would have been cheaper, but still would have had to pay for it, you know. I mean, if you're that unhappy, Mark, just have them all pulled out, love. Moaning people are the brilliant dentist all the time. Mark doesn't drive, so Amazon Prime is convenient for us. Yes, I never thought of that, Mark. You know, do you not have shops near you, Mark? Like, I don't know, DIY places and that you could drive to, perhaps, something like that. Paul and Lou are there. Good evening to Paul and Lou. They are in the central television area. Here, I tell you what. Have you ever noticed how similar the central ITV ident and the HTV one are? They're really similar. Here's the central one, right? And here's the HTV one. Anyone ever notice that? I bet you didn't, did you? Dan Woodhouse would have noticed something like that, but he never says. He never says. Apparently you can get Benidorm on Amazon, Chris. I've seen it recently. It's hilarious, Benidorm. And most of you know, I do know the writer of that, Darren Litton, who incredibly talented. I don't think he's doing much at the moment. He does have a bar in Benidorm called oh God, what was the name of the bloke? The one who was the foreign Spanish Mateo's. It's called Mateo's. That is actually Darren's club, which he does there. And of course, they do karaoke. I said to him, "Is there any chance I could come over for a bit of holiday and do your karaoke there?" And he said, "I'd jump at it if I could, but they're not allowed to do that. And if they find they've employed someone foreign to do the job of someone who can do it in Spanish, they get a massive fine, like thousands of pounds or euros." Euros. For those of you that don't know, boys and girls abroad, euros, they're kind of like pretend money in other countries that can't have pounds. So they have got this thing called the euro. Not really worth anything. I wouldn't bother with any of that business. All right, Paul and Lou, thank you very much. Mark J. By Bicester, where all the tourists go for shopping. It ain't really cheap there, Mark. It is cheaper than buying something, say, in Oxford Street. Well, you don't have to buy anything in Oxford Street anymore, do you? You just go and nick it. Well, according to the stuff I've seen on TikTok, what you do is you get all your mates together on a TikTok broadcast or something like that. Then you all meet up in Oxford Street, then you pile in the stores, nick a load of stuff, and then run away again. And nothing happens. Nothing happens. I don't know where this world is going anymore. Anyway, so a little bit cheaper there, but not a cheap place, Mark J. Especially start going to all the shops. Oh, I just have this. Before you know, you've spent a blooming £1,000 in there, you know. Thanks very much. I think a couple of you have shared my TikTok tonight, so thank you very much for that. Hello to Natalie. Natalie says, "Hello, Crane." Do I look like an old crane? Is it my nose, Natalie? Is it my Natalie? Apparently, yeah, it was free before. Natalie said it was free before. We were... They must have stopped doing the NHS then. They handed back the NHS contract, so they're private only now, Mark, are they? Thank you. Natalie says Tesco's is closer. Natalie, incidentally, is Mark J's wife there. Mark says the DIY... place is expensive. Tesco is a little bit of everything. Yeah, it does. I find Asda is Asda is probably the best place for getting everything, if you see what I mean. Now and again, you get a few bits in Tesco's, a few bits in Sainsbury's, but Asda seems to have everything in there, you know, from televisions to little brushes to do your sink and that with in him. Yeah, Jason he pays 25, he gets his check-up done for 25 quid. Yeah, I had a feeling it was the case of that. Yeah. So, thank you very much. Hello to George Bonds. Hello to George. Why are you calling me Uncle Chris? I'm not your uncle, George. I'm afraid. Not your uncle. Don't let my nieces and nephews and great-nieces and great-nephews see, or posh twinkles see you saying that. They won't be happy. I'm not your uncle. Not your uncle. Is this building up to asking to borrow money or something? Gary Ross is dishing out the money at the moment, aren't you, Gary? Thank you. Right. Oh dear. Let's pop back over onto the YouTube. We'll be able to call in a little bit later if you want to, my darlings. All right. Gary says, "Remember, Chris, people used to complain they didn't get their emails with numbers for free games of bingo every morning." Oh no, don't even go there. Don't even go there, Gary. Because 9 times out of 10, they just hadn't found them. Because they didn't, admittedly, they didn't always drop into the primary email folder. Those of you that don't know, I used to do a bingo show here on Sunday nights. And I spent a bit of money on that because I was convinced it would work. And we gave away little prizes and this, that and the other. And I thought, well, I'll run it for a while. You know, I don't mind spending a bit of money if it builds up, and then eventually it builds up and then it starts paying its own way. But it didn't happen, and it got quieter and quieter and quieter, and it was just a waste of money. And it was costing £125 a month in prizes. Then there was the money for the programme that it was, and it was just, I thought, oh no, I can't be doing this anymore. And then people used to moan. They'd always bloody moan. You know, they would win I tell you, this is no word of a lie. They'd win a prize, okay, on the Sunday night, Monday afternoon at 12 o'clock, you get an email. I haven't got my prize yet. What do you think I'm going to do? Jump in the car and bring it round? God's sake, man. Eh? Paul and Lou never won the bingo or anything. I am going to bingo. I tell you what, there's a really good bingo in London now. It is not proper bingo. Someone like Dan Woodhouse would turn up there and hate it. I'll tell you that now. It is drag queen bingo done by my dear friend and actually Vera's best friend, I think, Mr. Paul Stone, otherwise known as drag queen Victoria Sponge. And I went Sunday, and it wasn't massively busy. There was about 20 people playing there altogether. I think it was about 17 to 20 people. And I know Paul really well, so I sat right at the front and I heckled him. Big time. And he gives it back. You can't get one over on Paul, or on Victoria Sponge. He gives it back. It was hilarious. And I haven't laughed so much since someone I don't like died. You know. It was so funny. And it's on for the next 5 weeks. I think he's got 5 weeks to make it work. I don't know how it works. But it's on this week, and I'll be going again this week. So that is Drag Queen Bingo, Central Station in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. So if you go down there, I'll be there as well. I think Vera's going to go. You may meet Posh Twink Carl as well. I think he's going. I don't know who else is going to that. But it was so much fun. And it's only £1 a ticket. Only £1 a ticket. All right, Natalie likes karaoke. Well, turn up one time, Natalie. Turn up, darling. Tim has got an episode of Van der Valk on in background. I've lost count of how many guest stars are in it. Yeah, Doctor Who's getting a bit like that, Tim, as well, isn't it? Hey, they have a lot of guest stars in there. High Grade Gaming, have you ever tried stand-up comedy? Not something that really interests me, High Grade Gaming. I'd be worried I'm going to dry up. Let me let you into a secret. I've been doing this for 14 years, this chat show. I think it's... Actually, Adam would know. What's the date I started this, Adam? I think I've been doing this about 14 years. And before every single show, I worry that I'm going to dry up and not know what to say. Isn't that funny? I haven't become more confident as the years go by. Although a little bit more confident than playing the organ. I've for some reason, I've lost confidence playing the organ. I'm still doing it. Either once or twice on a Sunday usually. I still do it, and I do it. Don't really make many mistakes. But for some reason, I've lost confidence. And I was saying that to Father Danny. I seem to have lost confidence playing it. He said it's because of your age. You lose confidence as you get older, which is a bit weird, really. But there you go. All right. Gary Ross, the Ulster TV sounded like that back in the day, did it? Oh, hang on, let's get that one up. I've got that one as well. I've got them all here, mate. All these little ITV things I've got here. Hang on a minute. I've got to find that one, though. That's not on the general... on the general buttons. That's in the extras folder. I'm sorry to have to say that, Gary Ross. But generally, the ones that I use the most... are on their own button, and the Ulster one isn't used most because you can't get up in the morning, can you, dear? Shocking state of affairs. I shouldn't moan. You did send me a tip, so thank you. Here's the Ulster one. Yeah, that's the Ulster one. That's probably one of the newer ones, actually, because they do a couple of them over the years, don't they? Have we got any Yorkshire TV in the house? Well, oddly enough, the Yorkshire one, believe that or not, but that one too is one that is just not used on this programme or on my other shows. We don't really have anyone in Yorkshire listening to the show, but I do have that. Again, it's in the other folder of others, so I have to get it out. Now, you see, if I was doing a radio show in the morning, you wouldn't have to wait for me to find things like this because there'd be a song playing. Here it is. Oh, yeah. What program do you think of as soon as you hear this? I bet you all say the same thing. Go on. What program do you think of as soon as you hear that one, eh? Oh, Dan. He says, what do you mean I would hate drag bingo? If it's politically incorrect enough, then I would like it, I suppose. Oh, well, then you would have liked it then, mate, because we had a non-woke audience. Listen, I was in the audience, so that That audience was non-woke. Believe me, some of the stuff I was shouting out, I shot myself. Come on, answer that question for me, boys and girls. What TV programme do you think of as soon as you hear this one, eh? Let's see if you all say the same thing. Oh, no, you don't, actually. Tim Partington says 3, 2, 1. Tim says the winner takes it all. Gary says Crime Watch. Crime Watch? How'd you work that out? That's on the BBC, dear. Crime Watch. That beautiful girl was murdered, wasn't she? The newsreader. What was her name? Lovely she was. I liked her. No, not Crime Watch. Wrong bleeding channel. Are you listening to the same thing as everyone else? Eh? Did I give you the text number, by the way? There is a text number if you want to join in on that.
You can send Chris a text message right now on 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337.
All right, sweethearts, that's the text number. Mark J, Emmerdale Farm, that's what I was looking for. Emmerdale Farm. I thought you'd all say Emmerdale Farm. Of course, it's only called Emmerdale now, isn't it? You know, I'm so old. I was around when Emmerdale Farm was just a shed on its own. That's all it was, a shed. It used to go da 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 da, and there's a big picture of a shed. That was it, with 3 chickens. All very sad, really. What came first, the chicken or the egg? No one knows, because you weren't there. All these scientists, they pretend, oh, it's the Big Bang. How do they know? Were they here? No. Exactly. Thank you. Oh, Dan Woodhouse. YTV ident calendar countdown. Are you for real, Dan? Is that what you think of first? Calendar countdown? Oh. Thank you, Jill Dando. That was it. 1999. She was murdered after doing some stories on Crime Watch, wasn't she, on the BBC? Jill Dando. Beautiful girl she was. And you liked her. When you watched her on the a bit like Holly Willoughby. You actually like them when you see them. Wonderful. Last of the Summer Wine? No, dear, that's BBC. Crossroads? No, not Crossroads. The one before Crossroads was this. I mean, what's going on with these messages today? Are you all speaking from an institution somewhere? Well, you know, are we in the home for the twilight or something like that? Bullseye, there's one, bullseye. I think you're just throwing programmes at me now that you want to come back on the telly, aren't you? Oliver says, would be great to see a video on your channel one day of you playing the organ. Well, there is actually, Oliver. Are you on YouTube? Yeah, you should see somewhere. Oh, maybe it's not on there. I don't know. Suggested channels. I'll tell you what. Send me an email, Oliver, as in email, to chris@chrisreardon.co.uk. Send us an email there. Perhaps I've got that on here. Hang on a minute. Have I got that on here somewhere? My email address. There it is. If you send us an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and I'll send you the link for that. And I do a little video for everyone. Thank you, Peter Lake, Yorkshire Television, Heartbeat. That's a good one, isn't it? Heartbeat. We used to like that. Right. Text, Peter, Yorkshire. Yeah, Heartbeat as well. You only need to send your messages one way, Peter, all right? Whatever. Strike it lucky. Michael, no, you're all saying stuff that you want back on the telly. Michael Barrymore should absolutely be on the telly. Absolutely. He should be given the Generation Game. Oh, it would be so funny. Either him or Bradley Walsh. One of those two would absolutely close down the opposition if they brought back the Generation Game. I'm sure of it. Right, let's play you a little song then. And then we'll open a phone line if anyone wants to call in this evening. We've got a few little bits and pieces to talk about here. One of which is... he says quickly, puddings. British puddings. There's a dying tradition of British puddings. Which ones do you like? Perhaps there's some that you haven't seen for a while. We're talking here sticky toffee pudding. You remember those school puddings you used to get? Oh, gorgeous. I mean, they're nothing like what we got now. The crap. When you go into Starbucks and pay £3.50 for a slice of bleating cake in a bit of plastic, it's nothing like the puddings we used to get, is it? What puddings did you... No, I think you're on the wrong thing here, Natalie. Natalie says Yorkshire puddings. No, darling. Puddings, what you have after dinner, love. Those puddings. What puddings do you really like? Okay, so we're up in the phone line, but I'll play you a song first. As always, gang, those of you watching on YouTube or Facebook will get different music to everyone else due to copyright restrictions, all right? So let's play you a little song. And... And welcome back, gang.
Chris Reardon, Tuesday night, reach on air.
Okay, so we're talking about puddings now. Your favourite puddings. And the reason I bring up this subject is because it says the dying tradition of the Great British Pudding. It's a great shame. It says there used to be a delicious delight served up on millions of dining tables, but it seems the nation has gone cold on traditional hot puddings. Now, I must admit, I don't bother a lot of the time either. My sister never does. They just don't have pudding and haven't done for years. It's just how it is. And a lot of people aren't. Desserts such as spotted dick, treacle tart. Oh, my God. Yes, please. Jam roly-poly. Now, when I say jam roly-poly, if I go out somewhere and I order jam roly-poly, do not bring me in Swiss roll. It's completely different. I've seen that done. Not a clue. Not a clue. Jam roly-poly is not Swiss roll. Okay? Covered, of course, in lashings of custard, and they're in danger of disappearing completely, researchers have warned. They say the average household now eats a hot British pudding less than once a year. God! I must admit, when me and my mate used to do our shopping regularly, this is some years ago now in Waitrose, we'd often buy one of their sticky toffee puddings from Waitrose, and they were like £6 or £7, but it was big. You know, we probably had, admittedly, about 4 portions each, really. But are there puddings that you miss at all, I wonder? Mandy points out that Yorkshire puddings can be had as like a normal pudding rather than just a Yorkshire pudding, which is, I didn't know that, actually. I didn't know that. Or High Grade Gaming says, what's your favourite tea bag? Oh, well, I got 3, actually, and I saw that message and I wrote them down. PG Tips. I actually don't have tea bags. Most of the time, I don't have tea bags. Okay, but it would be PG Tips, you know, the pyramid one. Fortnum & Mason's Strong Irish Breakfast Tea. I quite like that one. And Harrods, I think it's number 14. Harrods number 14 English breakfast tea is really nice. When I stayed at Claridge's a few months ago for my 60th birthday, when we ordered tea down there, that was nice. It was really strong. Beautiful. 25 quid every time you had someone bring up a bleating tray of tea there. Oh, it was lovely. Oh, I've got to do it again. I'm going to do it again. Maybe at Christmas or for my birthday next year anyway. Richard. Hello, Richard. DJ Ellaby says, I like tiramisu. How do you say it? Tiramisu or jam roly-punny with some cold custard. Richard, do you like the cold custard in the can? Ambrosia dairy custard. That's been around for years, that has. We used to have that in the Scouts on camp. Oh, ambrosia, not the half-fat one, dear. I mean, if you're going to have that, you might as well not bother. You've got to have the proper experience. Ambrosia dairy cream custard. Or Devon, innit? Ambrosia Devon cream custard, I think it's called. My God, that's nice. In a can. Cold. Absolutely. Richard says, never hot custard. That's a disgrace to the human race. Is it really? Thank you, Richard. Send your messages, reach on air, message system, TikTok or YouTube, or you can call in now. There's a phone line open now if you want to call in about British custards.
Call in now.
I said, it's not British custards, is it? It's British puddings. British puddings. If you want to call in about that, hang on. Go and get the pen and I'll give you the number, okay? Jason, apple crumble and custard. Yeah. Vera says, got to be homemade, not bought in a shop. Absolutely. I must admit, I'm not a fan of Mr. Kipling's apple pies at all. It's just like a mush in there, isn't it? It's not like bits of apple in there. It's like a mush. Horrible. The Co-op used to do one, but for some reason, when I have the Co-op apple pies, I get really bad acid reflux. Don't know why that is. You know, one of those things. Tim's got Plex now. Natalie, my favourite pudding, sticky toffee pudding. Oh, Natalie, has anyone made that? My nephew's wife, Stacey, she does lovely cakes. She made my sister's birthday cake, actually. Dan, I'll be with you in a moment, Dan. She did my sister's birthday cake. It was so nice. But unfortunately, it's another thing that for some reason I got bad acid on that. For some reason. Vera says, I wish I could make custard like my mum used to make it. Yeah. Well, no one makes food as nice as your mum's. You know that. Tim, chocolate pudding was my favourite, and rice pudding and semolina. I could never stand prunes or apricots. Oh, no prunes, thank you. We don't want prunes. Dan, what happened then? Dan, you just disappeared. What is he doing? Dan, what are you doing? Dan just disappeared for some reason. I saw your call come up, and now it keeps saying missed call. What are you doing, dear? Keeps saying missed call on there for some reason. Are you with us now?
It cut out.
Right. Okay, Dan, I'll be with you in a minute. Just hold on there, okay? I want to do these messages first. Mark J likes the semolina when he was in school. Is that the ones that's like frog's eggs? It's like frog's eggs in it, I think. Or tapioca or something like that. Yeah, Natalie likes the bird's custard. Is that the one? That's the powdered one, isn't it? Bird's custard. No prunes for Vera and no prunes for Natalie. No, thank you very much. We don't like prunes. Really don't like prunes. Darren, on the subject of, he would have said Emmerdale in Granada. No, Emmerdale wasn't in Granada, darling. That was a Yorkshire television production, dear. Pay attention. Thank you, Mark. Mark's gone to eat a light bulb. Peter Lake likes apple pie with ice cream. Look at all these. I'm starting to mouthwater here. I mean, I did have a bit of angel cake earlier, which I bought from Aldi. Those of you that were listening to the radio show last week may remember that I popped into the Co-op up in Woodhall Spa for an angel cake. £1.95? Are you sure? I went into Aldi this afternoon, £1.25, or last night, £1.25. Huh. That Co-op is so expensive now. High Grade Gaming remembers the old pink custard. When's the last time you had that? Lovely. Mandy likes homemade bread pudding. My mum used to do that with the sultanas and all that in it. Delicious. I must admit, when I was a kid, I didn't eat it. She made it for my dad. He'd have the whole thing. My sister would too. My dad used to sit there and eat the whole thing. Mum was a wonderful cook. There we go, Mandy. Yorkshire puddings are puddings. You can have them with jam, which I've never done before. Didn't know that, Mandy. Thank you for correcting me there. Mick, spotted dick with custard. Jam, roly-poly. These are proper puddings, not a slice of cheesecake. You know, a little iced bun. It's not pudding, is it? It's this thing you get in Starbucks and you ripped off. Oh, God. Any more desserts there people are talking about? Let's have a look there. We're talking desserts. Any of you got favourite desserts at all? Let us know. High Grade Gaming likes the apple crumble. Yeah, Rebel Bert's sitting in the garden watching the show in a hot tub today. Oh, I don't like hot tubs. No, thank you. No, I don't like hot tubs. No, sitting in there and all those people's germs. No, thank you. George likes yoghurt. Oh, that's not really an old-fashioned pudding, George, yoghurt. How can you compare yoghurt? I know. Shut up, Dan. I haven't come to you yet. Are you laughing?
I can't go over it.
Yogurt. He said yogurt. You couldn't make it up. Now, don't swear again this week, or I will be sending round Mandy Davenport. She's ready, mate. She's listening, waiting for her call.
No, I promise. I'm feeling a lot better this week.
Oh, you're feeling a lot better?
Yeah, as long as because I'm not going to name names, but as long as nobody makes any scathing comment about my poor lack of form. Because I know because I can do that myself.
Your lack of form. Well, hang on a minute, Dan. We're nearly down the end of these. Vera said, jam tarts. Jam tarts? Mum, again, that's something my mum used to make. And lemon curd tarts. She used to do those as well. Angel Delight. Yep, that's one, Natalie. But it's not really an old... No, that is actually. That's been around for years, Angel Delight. Just a little word of advice here, Angel Delight lovers. Okay? Never try and make it with soya milk. Doesn't congeal. You end up with a very delicious strawberry vanilla butterscotch milkshake, but it won't congeal. You've got to use normal milk for Angel Delight. Lovely. Very nice. Kevin says my favourite is Heinz chocolate pudding with loads of custard over it. I have the whole tin. Can you still get those Heinz tin steamed puddings? I haven't seen those for years. I've seen the ones you put in a microwave. My God, they're about a quarter of the size, aren't they? You know, you get packets, don't you, of those little sponge microwave sponge puddings, and well, I don't think they're even the quarter the size of the sponge ones that we used to have in the Scouts.
They're 1 minute puddings. That's what they are.
Are they 1 minute puddings? No.
Yeah. Well.
Well,
they come down.
You will know the proper ones, Dan, that you had in a big tin from Heinz, and you used to have to boil them for 20, 25 minutes, put them in boiling water. And then when it was done, you took it out with a tea towel, and then you very carefully put the tea towel over the top and the tin opener, and you carefully let the steam out. Oh, they were delicious. Yeah, Tim says you can still get them in Sainsbury's. Well, Vera works in Sainsbury's. Did you do the... there you go. No, she says. I think it's in the pound shop. Do you do the Heinz steamed puddings, Vera, in Sainsbury's at all? Heinz chocolate pudding. Oh, wow. That's lovely. Neil Ferguson, tapioca pudding. Did you like that one, Dan?
Not had that one ever, actually.
Not had tapioca. They look like frog spawn. I think it's that one. Tapioca or semolina. Yeah, tapioca's the one that looks like frog spawn. We used to sit there. We had a dinner lady called Vera, and she used to dish out all this stuff. Mick Davenport, apple and blackberry crumble. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dan C, chocolate pudding with chocolate custard. Mmm. Oh, it's all right, Mandy. See, look, she's poised. She's ready, Mandy. I'm telling you, Dan. She's like a coiled spring waiting to spring into action.
Yeah, well, no, I promise we won't need Mandy Davenport tonight because I'm not going. It's not. I'm feeling, I've got a lot to actually get. So I'm concentrating more on an actual sensible phone call.
Wow, it'll make a change. Yeah, Gary Ross. Here's a suggestion from Gary Ross, Dan. Cowan Gate.
Oh, yeah.
Cowan Gate. Is that the baby food? That's the baby food, isn't it? I mean, those babies, they had a bit of a raw deal, didn't they, really? The babies have a raw deal. You'd order them. You'd buy them in this little packet of apple crumble, and they'd have to suck it in for a straw. They couldn't even chew the blooming stuff.
I've always felt sorry for babies, really.
I feel sorry for babies. What a rotten deal they get. Having those old rusks shoved in their mouths. Dear me. No wonder they cry so bleeding much. Can't even get a proper meal. Huh?
You look at the ingredients on most ready-made sausages, and they always got to say pork and everything, the spices in it, and then they got, just at the bottom, they got rusk.
Rusks, that's right, yeah.
I can't...
I've got something wrong earlier. Darren is in the Granada area. I do apologise, Darren. I would play you a Granada ident, except there wasn't one. They were too tight to get an orchestra to make one. It was silent, wasn't it?
No, but actually there was a couple of sound ones.
Mark,
stop it. Haven't you heard that one, a special one? Is it you're tuned in or something? Channel 9 Granada.
What?
Something like that.
Oh, Christ, that's going back even further, dear. You
yeah,
weren't
you're
even,
looking
you weren't
in.
even born then, Dan. What are you talking about? You weren't born
Yeah.
when that was on. No, you weren't. What were you? 1972?
80.
1980? Really? I'm looking at your photo. I'm finding that a bit hard to believe, love.
You really think I'm a bit looking older?
God's sake, yes, man. You look older than me.
Blimey, do you know, I actually had someone in our Romford Market think I was
You had
about
someone in Romford
52.
Market? We don't want to
Actually
go
think
there,
I was
my love. What you
52.
get up to in public toilets? Thank you very much.
No, no.
Oh, no.
As if
We
I
are
would.
deteriorating this programme week by week, you know. Oh, just a moment. Richard, we are everywhere today. Love it. If you are talking about Scout Camp puddings, that's knockoff Angel Delight. Knockoff Angel Delight.
Yeah.
What about trifle? Trifle?
Oh.
Yeah, George likes a bit of trifle. Hello, Dino. Natalie likes trifle. Mark likes trifle. Bit of sponge in the bottom there. Are you dead?
I like those.
Oh,
I like
thought
those
you died.
trifles with a raspberry jelly.
You like the raspberry jelly, do you?
Yeah.
That's a funny
And,
old stuff, isn't it? Jelly. I mean, what is that? It's just
Yeah.
flavoured thing, isn't
Well,
it?
it's still
really,
like
jelly?
a bit of fruit jelly. The jelly I can't stand is the one that you get on cold ham and
Oh,
pieces
no.
and that corned beef. It's just that's why whenever I go in someone's house, if they've put this buffet on
Butter?
and there'll be all this cold meat, and I just say, "Excuse me, have you got the microwave over there? Can I just put that in, just warm that up?" Because I just know that as I'm eating a piece of chicken or well, not chicken, maybe just margarita pan, that I'm just gonna go on this piece of like jelly, and it's gonna
I think in America you can get a whole chicken in a can, can't you?
Oh,
Hello?
I suppose you could get any.
I
food
wish
in
you'd stop
America.
leaving these bits of silent. I keep thinking you've died.
I'm normally just that's if you've asked me a particularly provoking question.
A
there. That
provoking
I might
question.
struggle.
Well, my provoking question to you at the moment is puddings. Tell me what puddings you like. And does your mum do any of them? Or the old-fashioned ones?
But roly-poly jam sponge is the best.
Right.
Yeah,
She does
that's
that,
the
does
best
she?
thing. With ambrosia, it's got to be ambrosia type custard. You know, it's got to have that flavour. Because I suppose thinking about it, all custard, then whether it's Bird's or Sainsbury's own brand for Vera, they probably all taste the same. Really, it's just that because ambrosia has got that made in our Devon creamery, and you just know how Devon is. You know, it's very creamy down there.
Well, there's some homework. There's some homework for you there, Dan. I want you to go out and purchase several different brands of custard and test them out and tell us which one's the best. Chris Reardon. What?
I might actually do that. Actually,
They are. That could be an interesting video for you.
Yeah,
And your favourite viewer, Roy Stone, will be able to comment on that.
yes, you will, Roy. Mr. Well-known, yes, it certainly will.
So your mum
By
does-
the way, talking of
Do you
Am I
agree?
what?
Do you agree with the fact that jam roly poly is not Swiss roll?
no, I've never thought it really.
No,
Swiss
it's
roll.
not.
I
It's
suppose
different, isn't it? It's
Similar,
different.
but because
Similar.
But actually, talking of food, tonight I have had for me dinner. I mean, how many stars? I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 stars today. I've had breast of chicken tonight. You see, it's done in my own special way, where it's actually it's cooked in oil and butter, and of course we do use only unsalted butter. There's a
Right.
reason for that.
Yeah, you get strokes, darling. Don't put salt on anything. Get a stroke.
Yeah. Well, we put fresh salt. It's a special smoked salt that we use
Right.
from Malden and grinder. So it's freshly ground smoked salt, and it's you seal this chicken in the oil and butter,
Yeah.
and then you season it with salt and pepper, and then put it with the lid on, and then about every 3 minutes or so it gets turned over. And
Every
what's that
3
doing?
minutes, blimey, the oven never gets the chance to get hot, does it?
No, the oven. No, it's cooked in a pan, of course.
Oh, right.
I've only ever used my oven about 3 times since
Have you?
I've had it. Yeah, no, I don't barely touch it because it's not. It just one, it's not quick enough, and 2, I don't think you have as much control over it because I have to have control over food. You see,
Yeah. Are you a very controlling person? Are you?
Oh, well, oh...
I'm hoping that Mark Bowles is going to control me at some point. No one's been able to control... No one has been able to tame me over the years. A couple have tried, and it hasn't happened. Carry on.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, this is all done in the sauteurs or frying pan, and we turn it over every few minutes. And what that does is that whatever juices are at the bottom, they're now at the top, so they're running through, and then the bottom juices are running to the top, and so on.
Juices?
So the juices, they're all running through the chicken.
Oh.
It keeps being turned.
Chicken juices. Oh, God. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. And then when it's cooked, as I've found tonight, it actually makes its own gravy in the pan, you see.
What, it wheeze it out? Does it wee it out?
More or less, yes. And then you just spoon.
So you drink chicken wee, do you?
Yeah, if you like to put it that way. Yeah.
Can't you become a vegetarian, love? Nice carrot, roasted carrot. Delicious. Bit of tomato sauce on the top, some chopped up onions. Lovely.
I'll become vegetarian the day that when they make plant-based foods a bit more advanced. I don't think they're not an advanced stage at the moment.
What did you say? What's not advanced?
The plant-based foods are not advanced yet.
Not advanced enough. They're very advanced now, aren't they?
No, I had the sausages a couple of weeks ago, and they were just, and I said to Mum, they're all right, but I was just saying that half-heartedly, you know. Really, I couldn't wait to actually just quickly to have a extra orange juice just to down them.
What
quickly,
ones? What brands were they then?
I can't remember. It wasn't. I don't think it was a recognised brand.
No, you see, there's brands and there's different ones. You've got to find the right one. I got to be honest. I did vegetarian frankfurters once at my caravan. Sorry, the luxury waterside media centre in Lincolnshire, and my nephew's two kids. I think it was just them two and me there. Actually, I'm sure they dumped them. They left them there. Dumped them on me to go and do something. I can't remember what now. But anyway, so I said, I don't know what to do with them because I'm never really left alone with anyone's children. I mean, I have been before, rather unsuccessfully. They start screaming and shouting and I can't control, because I can't control children. They don't take their notes of me for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, so they're sitting there. I said, do you want something to eat? So I'm looking around. All I had were these vegetarian hot dogs. I said, I'll do some vegetarian hot dogs. I got some rolls. So I did them. They hated them. They absolutely hated them. I watched their faces. What's wrong with them? And they said, we don't want these. We want dead animals.
Yeah.
They really didn't enjoy them at all. But there you go. It's one of those things.
No, I don't. I know how it's still. Kids would be like that. I know. Once they're pulled up on something, that's it.
I got no control, though. They don't take the notes of me. I think it's because I'm like the fun person. I just do fun stuff. Let me just read these two messages here. Richard, he says, you can get chicken in a can in the UK. Sounds foul. Do you get it? Foul. No, I don't know if you can get it in the UK. Definitely in America, you're going to get a whole chicken in a tin. Awful. Richard said, I was born male. I identify as male. But according to Sainsbury's Deluxe Strictly Toffee Pudding, I'm a family of 4. I mean, have you seen the individual ones? One mouthful and the blooming things are gone. Waste of time. And Mr. Granger says, good evening, Chris. The best puddings ever were my nana's trifle and my granddad's pineapple upside down cake. That one hasn't been mentioned. Did you ever have that?
Upside down.
Pineapple upside down cake. Yeah, I seem to remember that.
I've known of it, but I don't think I've really...
I think the pineapple ended up on the top. It was kind of when you turned the thing upside down, I think the pineapple ended up on the... I can't remember now, to be honest.
Yeah, but they do the same thing, actually, in a pan as well. It's called tarte tatin.
Tart what?
Tarte tatin.
Okay.
Or tarte tatin.
I don't know.
Might look to you, but that's what it's a similar thing. And anyway, by the way, can I move on from food a minute?
Let me do these dessert messages then. Mark J. Natalie likes jelly and ice cream in school. Yes, we had that. Vera reckons some baby desserts are not bad. Oh my God, Vera eats baby desserts. When she can't be bothered, she tears open a packet and eats straight from the packet while she's sitting down watching EastEnders. Dino, apple turnovers. Yeah, but Dino, there's apple turnovers and there's an apple turnovers. Some of them, you eat them, well, where's the bleeding apple? They're so tight with the apple, some of them, aren't they? Tim, thank you, Tim. Let me see. Jelly on tongue. Oh, no. No, Natalie. I've always thought that was really horrible. Even when I was eating dead animals and you get a bit of ham and there's that jelly on it. Not nice. Oh, what about jellied eels? Oh, God, who can eat those? Oh, jellied eels. Nasty. Nasty. Arctic roll, Dino. Thank you, Dino. Arctic roll, there's one. That nice ice cream thing there. Very nice there. Apparently, Alfred Bird invented English custard. You didn't know that. Thank you, Dino. Dino's just said something. You'll get this. You ready? What's this from? You ready? Sausages. Mm-hmm. Sausages.
That's life.
That's life, the dog. They had a dog that used to say sausages. Do you remember the old lady? The old lady in the brown outfit. She was always on it, weren't she? She won't be here anymore, I suppose. Little old lady. Can't remember her name. She was often on the interviews.
Yeah, I'll have to look back at That's Life all over.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Vera says Richmond's vegetarian sausages are really nice, and she's right. She's right. George says a flan. George says a flan. We got any more things over here? Let me just have a quick look at YouTube there. Gary lives in Blackpool and Fleetwood. Remember they had a theme to it. I can't remember that now and now. John Waterman's there. Hello to John Waterman. Evening. Oh, which is high grade. How many places are you, John? Can you just stick to one? It's very confusing, dear. John likes a beer for pudding. No, mate. No. Proper puddings, dear. Proper puddings. Fruit salad. Yeah, okay. Fruit salad. Yeah, all right. Some more puddings going on there. Alan Russell's there. Loves a bit of bread pudding and custard. Evening to you, Alan. Welcome along to the show. And Alan says his dad loves jelly and milk. Yeah, that's a thing, wasn't it? Jelly and milk. Mandy, carrot cake with maple syrup, butter icing. Oh, my God, these puddings. We just don't... I don't bother either most of the time. Dino, Jaffa sponge. Ooh, Jaffa sponge. There's some absolutely delightful puddings. Is there any other puddings that you remember? Perhaps you'd like brought back. By the way, are you someone that has pudding? Do you have pudding as a regular thing? Certainly when my mum was doing dinners, when I come home from school, we had a pudding every day. We'd have dinner and pudding. And this carried on right up to the day she died. If I ever went up there for dinner, there would be pudding afterwards. Do you have pudding, Dan?
Oh, no, it's not. Normally dinner fills me up anyway.
You have a big dinner, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. So do I.
Chris, do you know, I was just going beyond what I was going to say again, but I'll just mention it quickly. Can I just ask a question about, like, parents, either, like, even whether your mum did this or my mum did this? I don't know if parents have a strange thing of doing this, if it is only... Because my mum, she's got a strange thing that whenever I'm actually in the bed, or on the bed, I could have the earphones in, and I know I'm on a phone call now, but I could be listening to something video. Do you know what my mum does? She'd always start talking. Then she goes on like as if I'm not actually really listening to anything. I just wonder if that's a thing parents do. If I don't know, if maybe your mum did it, or is it just my mum? It's just one. She acts like as if I'm not listening to anything, and I'm going to actually hear everything.
When you've got the headphones on.
Yeah,
or just ignore her.
I'm just playing a game of bluff. I
find it very annoying when she interrupts the phone calls when I'm talking to you. Just shut her up. Tell her to shut up. Well, Mum, shut up. No. You have to tell her.
I know. Oh, yeah. But no, actually, talking of bluff, ting, because you know, Chris, there's this new channel. There's this person's uploading. They've got all these tapes of bluff. I don't know where they've gone. They're uploading them. It's like near enough 4 episodes a week. Oh yeah, I'm finding out all the words. I am. I'm managing to get all the words.
Are you talking about Call My Bluff?
Yes. Yeah. There's a whole phalanx of them now. I don't know how many there is now.
I went to see that years ago.
Yeah.
Went to BBC Television Centre. My God, that was a boring night. It was all right. No, because I think it might have been the first TV programme I ever saw recorded. So you go in and they record the first one and you see all these cameras and all the lights, proper cameras with people pushing them around. Not these little things now they got on the end of the bleeding joystick. Proper cameras, great big thick cables. And then they'd all come. They'd all be touched up on their makeup, right? And they'd sit there and they'd record the first play. Oh, it's great. Okay, well, just going out to change now and we get ready for the second programme. Out they go, 15 minutes, back in again, record the second one. Oh, that's all right. We're going to go and get changed. And then the third one. Well, I tell you, by the fourth one, we'd had enough. I think it was either 4 or 6. I think it was 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. I think they recorded 6. My God, we were bored by the end of that. Of course, I don't think I got up to go to the toilet afterwards. I was very young then. You know, I think if it had been now, I would have just gone, sorry, can you let me out? I'm bored now.
Yeah.
A little bit like watching this show, to be honest. Pardon?
I can understand that. I mean, I like Call My Bluff, but if I was, you know, when I see it like, on the YouTube, I could just, if they get a boring word, I can just skip to the next one and so on. But I wouldn't want to be sitting there like after in the audio having to go, oh, not again. Can we just stop? Can I go home now, please?
Yeah.
But Chris, can I just give you a couple of words that you might find useful?
Words? I'm very good with words. You carry on. Are they interesting words?
Yeah, because the good thing is that we can actually get. You've got to bear in mind all these words come from the Oxford English Dictionary, which would be the big dictionary, that it takes 20 volumes of them to actually fill with all the words. You know, this is not your normal home dictionary. You know,
okay.
But I've actually got. It is now actually online, so we can actually access all these words that you never knew about. Words like Merlimuse.
Who?
Merlimuse.
What's Merlimuse?
That means it was.
Did you say mubes or boobs? Sorry.
Muse, Merly Muse, Meri. Right,
well, get on with it, dear. I'm going to have another mint if you're going off on one of these.
Merly Muse, that's like childish pranks and games and that sort of thing. Stuff for kids. So that's what Merly Muse is. Right. And this other word, this is a much better word, momadotes. Momadotes, that's spelled Mourdotes. Momadotes. That's like me, when the madam next door, when her phone goes off, and it is so loud that the sound penetrates into my flat. So I could be sitting there in silence thinking of something, then all of a sudden there'll be whir, and it's that actual like, you know. Oh.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm always a bit of a fan of penetration. And I don't understand what your problem is with that.
Well, because the sound's so loud, it's that. Well, this is another thing altogether. But it's because she's got this landline phone, and she's never really learnt the thing of how to turn it down, or maybe it's been done on purpose. I don't know. But it's just every time that goes off, I think, oh my God, not again.
Never mind, Dan. Well, thanks for calling. Yeah. It was all right while you stuck to the puddings, darling.
All right. Pudding
Cheerio.
Then. Remember something for next week. Thanks.
Bye, Dan.
Bye.
There's Dan Woodhouse. We're going to take a little break here and play you a little song, and then I'll be back. Phone line will still be open then if you want to call in, boys and girls.
As I walk
but some things you just don't realize. Even though they're happening right in front of your eyes, I'm not even sure just what went wrong. All I know, I've stayed here for too long. Some tears are softer than others. Sometimes even gold can rust. Some flags will suddenly change colors, and that's what makes it hard to know just what to trust. When even gold can rust. Now I'm slowly building up again. Got new neighbors, finding some new friends. I think it even does me good to take this time alone. I'm pretty sure it's better than just staring at the phone. I'm not even sure just what went wrong. All I know, I've stayed here for too long. Some tears are softer than others. Sometimes even gold can rust. Some flags will suddenly change color, and that's what makes it hard to know just what to trust. When all that you believed has turned to dust, even gold can rust.
Gang, don't forget, if you want to join in, you can do so. Send us a message on the Reach On Air message system. You can send us a message on TikTok, YouTube, or text in on my exclusive text number 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337. Dan, I don't know where you've texted that to, but there's nothing here. There's no text, no email, nothing from you, dear. Why can't people just use the same method to send their messages all the time?
Reach on air.
Welcome back. The phone-in number is still open.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
There's a few more puddings people are talking about here. Lemon meringue is Natalie. Yeah, she likes that one. Lemon meringue there. Who else have we got here? Oh, hang on. Is that a little call coming in there? I think it is, yeah. Looks like it's Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Good evening, Vera. Good evening, Vera. Nope, nothing there. Vera? Oh, there she is again on another circuit. Good evening, Vera.
Good evening.
All right? Are
Yes,
you well?
I'm fine, thank you.
Let me just do some of
Yes,
these
I'm good.
messages, darling.
sure.
You already texted. You love a main meal and leaving the puddings. Yeah, no one does puddings anymore, do you? Just scrolling down here nice and quickly. The time certainly does go quick, Mark, doesn't it? You get the right subjects and it just tears away. Natalie, rice pudding. Oh, yeah, rice pudding. You're talking over there. Kevin, jelly and ideal milk. Ideal milk. Is that the congealed stuff? Is it condensed? Condensed milk. Who was the black comedian? Condensed milk. Lenny Henry. He was always going on about condensed milk, wasn't he? Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Lenny Henry
milk
there.
And coronation milk.
Yep. Janice Pope's with us. Good evening, Janice. Welcome along to you. Yeah, is that everyone? And Shania's just turned up. She's a bit late tonight. Never mind, Shania. You are forgiven. Shania's been elevated, you know. Oh, yeah, she's head of the Catholic Church in the south of England now. Pope next, dear. Pope next. Carry on, darling.
Yes, I just wanted to tell you my little story about the upside down pineapple cake.
Yeah. Now, can you just describe it? What bit? Where is the pineapple? Is that on the top?
No, it's at the bottom. You put the pineapple at the bottom in the tin, and then you put the mixture on the top. And then when you take it out of the tin, the pineapple goes on the top.
Okay.
When you when you take the cake out of the tin, blah, 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 it comes on the top.
Right,
I'm
with you.
That's why it's upside down.
Yep, okay.
So, yes, I must have been about 12 or 13 at the time with girls' school, and the last period of the lesson is the cookery lesson. So the teacher showed us quickly how to make the upside-down pineapple cake. So we said, yep, got it. We all had our ingredients, and we were all making the cakes and stuff, and then she took the cake out that she made to show us, and it looked really nice. So anyway, we're all mixing this cake, twirling away, flour going everywhere, sugar going everywhere, as you do when you're 13-year-olds. And then all of a sudden, she started screeching. And I thought, what's going on here? Why is she shouting?
Can you do the screeching, please, Vera?
Ah! Like someone's been murdered.
I love it. Carry on, Vera.
And I thought, what's going on here? Anyway, everyone was stopped what they were doing and turned round to the teacher. She said, who has stolen part of this pineapple? And I thought, what? Someone had stolen the pineapple off the cake. And I thought, well, what? Why would anyone want to steal the pineapple? Anyway, everything came to a halt. The cooking lesson had come to a halt because she wanted to interrogate each one of us with the headmistress and the headmaster to find out who had stolen the pineapple from the cake.
Right.
This went on for hours. No one could. We never got to finish our cake.
How
because
funny.
of this interrogation.
How funny.
It was incredible. I'm thinking, this woman needs to get a life. I mean, it's only a bit of pineapple. I mean, has she checked the cake tin? It could still be in a cake tin. I don't know. Well, I don't know who it was, but whoever it was very light fingered to go in there and nick the pineapple without being seen. Because I don't know who it is. It wasn't me. I can hold my hand up to that. It was not me. No, I have no. I didn't play no part in the stealing of a pineapple chunk. No.
Right.
But then we were all given detention for it as well, because nobody owned up to it. We were given detention after school for it. So when I got home, because my mother was furious as if to say, why am I so late from school? And I told her what happened. She said, well, over a pineapple chunk. And I went, yeah. She was not happy.
Crazy, isn't it?
She went down to school the next day, didn't she? Oh, Lordy. Well, you know what West Indian mothers are like? Oh, Lordy.
Can you do the accent for us, Vera? We love accents. Go on, do it. Do it.
Bearing in mind, I was born and bred in the UK.
Yeah. Well, you can have a go, can't you? See, I can't do that because they're like, oh, you're so racist doing that. But you can do that because you're black, so do it, please.
I can't. I've got to keep a straight face.
Yes, you can, because I've heard you do it before, girl. Go on.
She said that, I've got to think what she said. What's the meaning of this? You keep my pitney home after school. Why you keep her in school for so long? And the teacher said, excuse me, Mrs. Taylor, what did you say? So I had to translate to the teacher what my mother said, but I couldn't use all the words my mother said because some of them were a bit rude, because she was swearing a lot of words, and there's no English, no, you can't translate some of the stuff.
Yeah,
Jamaican words, some Jamaican words cannot be translated. You can imagine what it could well be, and you leave it at that.
I say nothing,
so
my love. I say nothing. Blah, blah. Hi, Chris Reardon. What? Here, Vera, when can you
Yeah.
park on a single red line in Camden? Do you know?
The what? Oh, sorry.
Single red line in Camden. I'm getting off. I'm getting asked to have a look at a karaoke in Camden Town.
Camden. God, I've been around
Oh no,
Camden
of course
area
you're
for
not. You're
years.
not. No, sorry, I'm confusing you with DJ Chris. He's Camden, isn't he? I'm confusing you.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I've not been around that area for years, donkey's years. It's just a nightmare to get to. It's a Northern Line area,
Yeah, yeah.
which I don't like going around that area, like Clapham and all that area. It just takes too long. So, yeah, that's my little story of the upside-down pineapple cake, which I never got to finish making and got in trouble for it, for someone else's stealing the pineapple. And my mother coming down to school to almost being arrested for having to go at the teacher.
Did she?
Well, there you go. All over a pineapple. Can you imagine that?
I imagine your mum wasn't someone to be mucked around with.
No. She held her own. I mean, she didn't like people who were on the buses who had mobile phones shouting down the mobile phone, because she would turn around and say, she would turn around to them and say, listen, if you put down the phone and use your mouth, people can hear you better than the telephone. That is what she would say.
That's the accent I love.
That is what my mother would say. I mean, she didn't hold back. She would just let loose.
Yeah.
And she has been known to swear at certain people, which I don't do, and I won't be doing it on air anyway. I'll do it when I see you on Friday, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you, because I'm sure someone else is dying to
the
call in
calls are
about
queuing up.
pudding.
There must be 30, 40,
calls.
50 people waiting to have their calls answered.
And I'm waiting for Mark Bowles to ring in as well.
He's only ever rung me once. I get lovely, really pleasant text messages. He's probably gone by now, I would imagine, but he's only ever rung me once, and I've tried to ring him, usually through Facebook Messenger, and it's never answered. Never answered.
Broken-hearted, poor thing. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you, and someone else hopefully will be able to catch the last few hours.
Oh, yeah, it's only 20 minutes. Look, it's 20 to 11. Can you believe that? Gosh.
Yes, it goes so quick.
Thank you, Vera.
The topic that you...
Oh, by the way, are you going to Drag Queen Bingo on Sunday? Advertise that for us all.
Yes, I will be going along to Victoria Sponge, a.k.a. Paul Stone, who is my best friend, as you mentioned earlier. I'm working on Sundays, but I finish at 5, and I'll be jet-setting it straight across to central London for the bingo. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping to win this time. You know, the full house and the 2 lines and what have you.
Now, have we got a link game this week? A link game?
No, there's no link game. The only link game will be amongst ourselves.
Oh, okay.
And I will not have my bingo cards sabotaged, which is what Paul used to do. He used to write his name on the back of them, thinking that he won, or swap them around. I'm not having that.
It was
so
fun.
when I go to the toilet, I will be taking them with me.
Wouldn't it be great if we
not
could
leaving them on the table?
We could get a good large group of us, like anyone involved with this show, like sort of down, and we could all sit on a great big table and really rip into him and see how it sound like I did on Sunday.
He's too good.
Dear, it was funny.
I mean, I've tried several years now, and I just can't break him. I've caught him off guard a few times where he just cracked up laughing, and he looked at me thinking, how could you say that? And I said, well, I can, because I'm black. There's certain things I can get away with for being black, and he looks at me and said, I can't say that. I said, well, I can. So I might be throwing that at him, and he'll be lost for words, because I know how to shut him up, so don't you worry about that.
Yeah, shut him up. Thank you, Vera. Ta-ra, love.
Okay, you
bye,
take care.
Darling.
Bye.
Bye now. Some more puddings here. Got some ice cream sundaes for Natalie. Jason, banana split. Banana split. La 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 la. We like that. Mark Bowles is still here. I'm so pleased, Mark. I was concerned that you might have suddenly left me. Wouldn't be the first time someone disappeared at the last moment, but there you go. It's one of those things. Thank you, Mark, for for staying with us there. Kevin, condensed milk. That's right, condensed milk. That was a thing with Lenny Henry, wasn't it? He used to go on about this condensed milk all the time, didn't he? Good. Right, what else have we got here? In my list of things to talk about, a disaster you often think about might happen, but don't believe it will, and then it does. I often see like things about fairground rides, don't you? Some people are killed on fairground rides, and you know, you're sitting on there. I don't go on fast roller coasters. They terrify me. I mean, that being said, I'm sure my electric scooter is going at approximately the same speed as the Alton Towers Ride of Death or the Chessington Zoo, thing like that. You know, they just don't do it for me, roller coasters. And people have died on them. Oh, no, perfectly safe, nothing will happen. Well, how about a cable car? Cable car. You ever been on one of those? You don't necessarily have to be skiing somewhere to go on a cable car. They have them in other countries. Some places use them as a method of transport. We've got one going across the Thames, haven't we? From Greenwich to the other side there. Haven't we? Cable cars. There's one in Llandudno, according to Mark J. Cable car there. And you never think that it's going to go wrong. Well, one has in Pakistan. Frightening, really. And there's a picture in the Daily Mail. 2 children were trapped inside a broken down cable car in Pakistan. And we saw a picture of this thing precariously hanging in the middle. Somehow it had broken down. And it's amazing, really, like I say. You always imagine cable cars are there to take you up with skis and things like a ski lift type thing on these wires, aren't they? This one in Pakistan was literally going across this valley thing. I've got a picture of it in front of me. They have now, fortunately, got the children, and they had to winch them out with a helicopter. Literally, the helicopter had to fly above the cable car. A bloke came, I think it's a bloke, I don't know. Bloke came down, grabbed the kid and dragged them back up again on the helicopter. But, you know, we often see things like that, don't we? And it frightens you when you just see something. I mean, even like there are places with glass floors, aren't there? Isn't that the Blackpool Tower? Haven't they got a glass floor at the top of the Blackpool Tower or something? There's no way that can ever crack. But things do go wrong, don't they? Can you think of any examples on that? Still time to call in, incidentally, gang. If you want to call in, 0208 144 3477 is my number. Oh, there it is.
Call in now. 020-8144-3477.
And don't forget, we have Mr. Dave Squires after me this evening, boys and girls. He'll be there doing some love stuff and singing away. And indeed, Dave, I thought to lead you to go into Dave Squires tonight on Reach On Air, I've got a lovely song to take you up to the top of the hour. All right, that's coming up at the end of the show today. LaBelle's there. Good evening to LaBelle. Evening to you, LaBelle. Jason says the children were on their way to school. What a fantastic way to go to school. Having to get on one of those rope. What are they called again? Are they rope lifts? What are they called? Chairlifts? No, because they're standing in there, aren't they? I mean, anything going like that frightens me. Even on a plane. Planes are supposed to be the safest form of transport, aren't they? They really are. But now and again, one crashes. You know. Let's hope we're not on one of those, you or me. Did Vera say Saturday? Sunday? No, it's Sunday. Sunday is the drag queen bingo at Central Station. All right, if anyone wants to come along to that, let's see if you're talking about that at all. No, you've all gone a bit quiet on TikTok now, haven't you? On sort of YouTube. Well, that's unusual. You run out of things to say. It's not like you. Anyway, that's the worrying thing of things that you don't think will happen and then they do. Yeah, LaBelle, you're safer on a plane that's driving to the market than driving to the market. Oh, yeah, I agree. All those checks they do, even on the cheap flights, they may cut costs with the amount of seats in a cabin and toilets and stuff like food to eat, but they're not allowed to cut sort of corners on the safety or anything like that. Well, at least they say that anyway. What is your most fancied TV star? Is there anyone you fancy on the telly? Go on. Who would you like to, shall we say, go out on a date with? The Sun is reporting, and I have to say there's a photo of her here, and the photo is really not doing her any favours at all. It looks a bit fake. You know those fake smiles people do? And I can always tell, when I'm watching the telly and stuff in the morning, a fake smile, I can see right through it. And I've got to say, when I'm watching GB News in the morning, Eamon Holmes doesn't do fake. He is as he is. When he smiles, which isn't very often, you can tell he's smiling. But, old Naga Manchetti on the other side, and it's so fake. So fake. I tell you who I don't think is fake. The one on the ITV breakfast thing. What's her name? Susanna Reid. She comes across as quite as she is, so to speak. But which television star do you fancy? Now, to make it easy for you, especially you, Mark Bowles, I'm going to have to disclude myself for this, okay? You can't say my name, because I know most of you probably will. Who is your most favourite, famous, fancied TV star? Come on, answer me that question. The Sun reports Holly Willoughby has been voted the UK's most fancied TV star ahead of Kim Kardashian. Oh, well, of course. It goes without saying, doesn't it? Little old Holly Willoughby. She's been named the UK's most fancied female television star for the second year in a row, while 2 pints of lager actor Will Mellor beat off competition from 2 TV hunks to be named second on the most fancied male list. The This Morning star beat celebrities including Kim Kardashian and her famous half-sisters, Kendall and Kylie Jenner. I don't know who these people are. I really do. And Game of Thrones actress Emilia Clarke to the top spot. I don't know any of those, I'm afraid. None of those. Will Mellor, I think he was on... Was he not on Casualty at some point, Will Mellor? He made his debut on the male list and is now the second most fanciable male TV star after Witcher actor Henry Cavill. Who's he? I'm going to see if I can see a photo of him. Oh, really? Well, looks pretty average to me, I'm afraid. Oh, not my cup of tea. See, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? Always. Who would you like a night out with? Come on, gang. Who would you like a date with? New research revealed how Holly's 42 now. She's held on to her crown, with her name becoming the most searched on Google. Can you believe that? Holly Willoughby's name is searched more than me. I can't believe that. She's held on to her crown with the terms hot, sexy and calendar 2 years running. It comes, and then they go over trouble that they have had on This Morning. She's still going. So Holly Willoughby, she's the UK's most fancied TV star. Who's yours? Richard E. says, why is Will Mellor beating off the other competitors? No wonder he won. I don't really watch enough TV to have. I know he's not actually beating them up, I don't think. Richard says, I'd like to have a night out with Ross Patzelt, but not in a date way. No, we're talking dates, Richard. I can't believe anyone in the world would fancy Ross Patzelt, who's away this week. He's at Butlins at the moment, enjoying what they've got to offer there. Jason says, I wouldn't mind a night out with Mel C. There you are. There's Jason's little fancy lady, Mel C. Vera doesn't fancy anyone on TV. Oh, you're just being awkward, Vera. There must be someone, girl. Come on. She used to fancy Charles Dance. I have no idea why. Maybe it was the characters he played. I don't know who Charles Dance is. Why don't I know any of these people? I don't know any of them. LaBelle says, I know Henry, but who's Holly? Oh, she's not really a star. She's more of a celebrity than a star, LaBelle. Not in the same sort of league as, I don't know, Tina Turner or someone like that. The great Tina Turner. Mr. Granger says, I'd like the ITV weather girl, Lucy Verasamy. Verasamy? Is that her name? I don't know who that is. Darren Askew. Manxie off Emmerdale is for me. And another one, I just don't know any of these people. Hang on, let's have a look. Manxie Emmerdale, is it? Manxie Boyd, is it? Fictional cat? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Manx is quite nice. Yep, we'd have some of that. Thank you very much. Peter Lake, my favourite star is Butler's Empire, Martin Butler. No, we're not talking favourite stars, Peter. It's stars that you fancy. Paul and Lou, oh my God, are you for real? Give me Gemma Collins any day. Well, you better be a good cook. Or at least take her out for a few meals. Gemma Collins, wow. Someone fancies Gemma Collins. Look at that. Where are we? Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, I don't know what her name is, high grade. I don't know what her name is. But I know the one you mean. Can't think of her name. Mick says, the only woman I fancy is Mandy. Yeah, you're only saying that because she's here, you lying git. Gary, the Miller Bird from the Ted movie. I don't know any of these people. So, who do I fancy on the telly? That's the more interesting thing, isn't it? Well, you know who that is. You know it's got to be Roman Kemp. Roman Kemp. And, linking in nicely here, he's about to get a new show. He's going to be on the telly with Sarah Green. You remember Sarah Green from Blue Peter? Yep. Yes, you do, don't you? Yes, you do. They're going to be doing a quiz show on Monday with Roman Kemp in the afternoon called The Finish Line. So we're looking forward to that. So those of you that love the Roman Kemp look will be able to see him on the telly, I think, on Monday afternoon. All right, boys and girls, time to disappear. Thanks to those of you on YouTube. There'll be another little show for you next week. And don't forget, you can join me each and every morning here at Reach On Air between 9 and 10 o'clock. If you've got a smart speaker, just say Amazon, play radio station Reach On Air, and that's tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, all right? Thanks for watching, YouTubers. Bye-bye. And here on...